Wagwan, guys.
What's good?
Welcome to or welcome back to Mission Accomplished.
Where we
Showcase the lives of those who have accomplished much.
today we have a very special
guest only.
And our second special guest just left. It was a cat called Philip Aribabatieng Okoth. He's a very cool guy. I hope he comes back. Right now he's just circling the perimeter.
However, we have another very special guest, and we will let her introduce herself.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm already having fun as it is, so I can't wait for the rest of this. But my name is Ann Ndanu. I am co-founder at NAICCON and current team lead. NAICCON is not the camera company. I'm sure you know the camera company NAICCON.
Yeah.
Yes, because sometimes you get the confusion between the two. But it's NAICCON. So NAICCON, and we exist to be able to support, elevate, and promote creatives like yourselves, and those within the digital art spaces as well. And the reason and how we go about it is we use different things to go about this. Number one is to enable creatives to be able to showcase, so they can tell their stories, amplify their voices, be seen and heard just like yourselves. Get to be able to grow in the spaces that are at. Number two is elevate. Making sure that we upskill what they do through workshops and panel discussions and trainings. I'm sure you guys also go through some of these things, which is very, very important, and that's part of who NAICCON is, to be able to upskill and elevate these creatives and creatives within the digital art spaces. And number three, and very importantly, to be able to collaborate, and we've been able and privileged to be able to collaborate with people within the country, outside of the continent, in Europe and in America, really to be able to support and elevate creatives in Africa. We've existed since 2014, so it's been quite a journey since then, 10 going to 11 years now, and we're also the hosts of the Nairobi Comic Con. So this is a gathering of people who, nerds and weebs and geeks, people who love gaming and comics and animation and film, content creators as well, music and dance. So besides the fans, and I'm sure you guys are fans as well.
Yeah.
What amongst all those things that I said, what do you like to do?
I like comics. Yeah, video games sometimes.
I like music.
You like music?
And music is just too good, like, honestly.
Yes. Yeah? What kind of music do you listen to?
I like listening to hip hop.
Okay.
It's really good.
You love hip hop. I'm a hip hop head, by the way. I love hip hop. You said you love music as well?
Yeah.
What kind of music?
I like playing guitar. It's fun.
Good.
I can play every instrument as long as your body can come.
Oh, nice. Very good.
I also like creating some beats online.
He's good at making.
I love that.
If you think that Costello made a song and I told him that we should use it for Mission Accomplished, you think we should use it, then please vote. Everybody vote yes, so that we can use
Yes,
it.
I'll be amongst the ones.
I'm also slowly starting to do like not software development.
Yes.
Like music, but then on a software.
So you're seeing the importance of technology, because that is also the heart of who we are. Technology is the driving force for the creative economy. We would not be doing what we're doing without technology. We would not be able to disseminate. People would not be able to see you guys without technology. So for us, technology is at the heart of who we are. So besides Nairobi Comic Con, which brings together the fans, we also bring together the professionals, people who are actually practicing and who are within the particular space. Different stakeholders, our partners and our sponsors. And this happens every year. But besides the workshops and the panel discussions and the trainings, cohorts that we do throughout the year, and the convention that we do at the end of the year, which is the biggest, we were the first in East and Central of Africa back in 2014. We are now moving to Mombasa. There's MobCon, Mombasa Comic Con. But we also want to be able to impact the next generation of creative minds and builders. So we have the Kids Con. Sometimes we host it within the main convention and sometimes out of it. But in a nutshell, and I'm sure you're going to get to know me more, that is who I am. I'm very passionate about African storytelling. So I'm an advocate for African storytelling because I love being an African. And I think we have such a strong heritage of who we are and the stories of who we are. So I'm also very passionate and a creative economy advocate as well, in terms of what we're able to achieve.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just answered like 6 questions before we even asked them. Like, I was just there. I don't even know what to say. I mean, at that point, yo.
Yeah, but this didn't just start the other day. It started from my childhood, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of childhood,
Yeah.
could you tell us a bit about your background? Did you always want to work in this space of creatives?
Okay. So my childhood was very interesting. I had a very fun childhood. You know, those are the times that we were constantly outside, creating, building. We want a ball, we'll create it from scratch. You know, we'll put together the papers and plastics and rubber bands. So we built a lot from scratch. You know, if you wanted something, if it's toys, think outside the box, create it and build it. So that's my childhood. And I was surrounded a lot by community and family. There was constantly somebody in the house, whether it was a grandmother, whether it was an auntie or an uncle. So we were always surrounded by community. I was brought up by the community and family always around. And I learned a lot of stories of who I am, where I come from, my heritage, my family, my grandparents. You know, I have such strong backgrounds of and stories of who and where I come from. You know, my grandfather was the first in my area to be able to bring education and religion in that particular area. You know, I had stories of you know, my forefathers going into war. You know, I was told about them fighting for the white people. Some coming back, unfortunately, some not coming back. So there was a lot of storytelling, which was beautiful. Some of which I'm thinking of putting into comics.
Interesting. You should.
I should. So some of which I'm thinking of putting into comics. So that upbringing was amazing for me. And I also had a beautiful mom. You know, we all have beautiful moms. You know?
Yeah.
My mom was beautiful. She was sweet and kind and loving and so giving. You know, she'd give a lot to her family, give a lot to her community from where she came from. And there's a lot that she taught me in terms of value of work, value of always ensuring that you have integrity in what you're doing. So she taught me a lot about the value of work, the value of integrity, and so that I have carried with me along the years. You asked me about did I always want to be what I am? Truthfully, no. Because at some point I wanted to be a lawyer. You know, I was very passionate about people's rights and freedoms and things like that. And so I thought I wanted to be a lawyer. And that changed, and I wanted to be a journalist. I'm actually a trained journalist, though I'm not practicing. But I have also carried aspects of that into who I am. And what for sure I knew I wanted to do was to be able to create something of impact, something that would lasting impact, something that would make a difference. And I didn't know that until NAICCON. And I was like, you know what, this is what I really want to be able to do. And so it's been a fulfilling journey with challenges, with a lot of wins and joys, but very fulfilling at the end of the day.
That's so interesting.
What do you think of the creative space in Kenya?
What do I think about the creative space in Kenya? So we've come from far. And the reason why I'm very passionate and very committed to what it is that I am doing is because I know of the possibilities and how far we can be able to, and what we're able to achieve with the creative and the digital arts. What people need to realize, and what you guys need to be able to realize right now, it wasn't as appreciated as it is right now. Okay, you know, I'm loving seeing you guys here, being able to express yourselves and being able to live what you're loving and what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, for us, when we started off, people didn't quite understand. The perception was a bit different. So we didn't get a lot of support, and I'm grateful that your parents are actually allowing, and your guardians are allowing you guys to be here, to be able to enjoy what it is that you're doing. So the creative economy and the industry has really grown over the last few years. And for me, why I'm really committed and giving my energy and my resources and my time to this is because of the possibilities that there are. Number one, it's the biggest, it's one of the most powerful tools in youth employment and youth empowerment. Okay. Number two, we're able to export our narratives and who we are and our cultures and our heritages globally. Okay. Whether it's through music, whether it is through gaming and games that we're creating, whether it's through storytelling in the different mediums of books and all these things that we're able to do. So it's able to export our stories out there and our narratives. And very importantly as well, it's attracting a lot of investment. So all these opportunities are here now. And we're embracing them and we're getting to enjoy them. But very importantly, it's how it has transformed how we are able to educate, how we are able to give information, whether we're educating, advocating, informing, all these aspects have really been impacted by technology and by creative and the digital art space.
That's cool. Speaking of which, what has been your most successful moment at NAICCON?
Wow, success. This so as I told you, it's been 10 years. I think for me, success is looking at how far we've come, how far the industry has grown, how much impact we've been able to accord to the people that we are serving, and not being able to give up. Because I think looking at that is a success to me. Being able to look at the challenges that we've been able to overcome and not letting that define who we are, but be able to grow. Because I think what makes a difference for a change maker, because we were the first East and Central of Africa. We have been able to be at the forefront of seeing how all the possibilities are and being able to uplift others. We are very big in impact. That is our biggest focus. How are we impacting? By the time we're putting our hearts and our heads to creating programs and projects, how are we impacting? Who are we impacting? So I think for me that has been success. Not being able to give up, being able to channel our energies and our resources and everything into growing an industry to what it has become. Yeah.
Whoa. On the flip side, as Tendo likes to say, what has been a challenge that has either stopped you as Ann or the company as NAICCON? NAICCON.
So one of the things that I want to tell you and let you understand is that challenges are a part of life.
Yeah.
Sometimes we look at challenges and think, man, I shouldn't be here, or I shouldn't be facing what it is that I'm facing, without realizing that challenges are actually building you, they're molding you, they're refining you. So always look at challenges as a fire to make you grow, because most of the times by the time you're going through and coming out of a challenge, you're not the same.
Yeah.
You're better, you're thinking different, you're looking at life and looking at opportunities and everything that you're putting your hand and your head to very differently. So for me, on a personal level, I think the loss of my mother was the biggest challenge that I've had to face in my life. But it has helped me. And I'd also say, NAICCON was formed by 3 people. It was created by 3 individuals. It was myself, a gentleman called Thomas, and Barasa. And unfortunately, we lost Barasa as well. So that was also it was a very, very challenging period in our lives. And what I look at and how I look at challenges is that there are seasons. There is no season that is here to last. Okay? So always encourage yourself, knowing that a season is here not to last, but to mold you, to build you, to get you to become better, and to growth. It's a refining growth process. I like to look at it as that.
That's really interesting. Speaking of seasons that are not here to last, season 2 was really good, don't you think? Wow. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, and continue watching. Anyways, you said that you didn't always want to be a co-founder of NAICCON or doing what you're doing right now. So if your 15-year-old self was to come to the future or the you right now and see what you have accomplished so far, how would she react?
I think she should be very proud. Yeah, should look back and smile, because we always want to clap and applaud wins without understanding that the challenges and the hardships and the struggles that we go through are also milestones, that we have overcome.
Yeah.
And we always need to be able to look back and look at how far we've come. So I think it's at 15 that I actually lost my mom. So I was actually just getting into high school. So I was lost at that particular moment. I was confused, and that went on for about a few years. And I think looking back, one of the biggest, I don't know that to call them regrets, but I think one of the things I would challenge anybody is that it's during those hard moments that you need to be able to speak up. So for me, I bottled a lot of it. I didn't know how to express what I was feeling through that loss. But I also realized that it's at that particular moment that my artistic expression came out.
Yeah.
So I started writing a lot. So I wrote poems, I wrote a lot of stories, I wrote music. You know, I can sing, I think. But I wrote a lot of stories, and that was my way of channeling the pain that I was actually going through at 15 and a few years after that. And that helped me, because I also realized that I was also a very good listener. I was also very empathetic. You know, I was very disciplined, even in my pain, very disciplined, and I knew I was a go-getter. Things that my mom had actually cultivated in me. I understood the value of work. I understood the value of integrity and all these things. And the teachers picked it up. At a tender age of 15, the teachers picked it up, and that was the time that I got my first leadership role. And you know, that role, I rose up in the ranks. And by the time I was leaving high school, I was second in command. You know, I was the deputy head girl by that time. And these are things, you know, and I'm very appreciative, because I've gotten to understand that leadership and you being a change maker, there's three very most important things that you need to understand. That as a leader and as a change maker, you need to be able to inspire others. Okay? You need to be able to inspire others. Number two is also very important. You need to be able to lead with purpose. Why are you doing what you're doing?
Yeah.
You understand what you're doing. Number three is to be able to understand that you'd not be a leader unless you have other people that you're leading. So it's also very important to be able to not just go, you know, rise and leave others behind, elevate them, you know, make sure that you're empowering them as you're going up. So inspire, elevate, and also lead with purpose.
That's so cool. That's really interesting. I have a joke with your name in it.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
let's hear it.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Ann.
Okay. And who?
Anybody home?
So bad.
I know.
That was
Anyways, now it's time for the classics. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Amos.
Amos who?
A mosquito. Knock, knock.
That's a good one. Okay.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Anna.
Anna who?
Another mosquito. And knock, knock.
Who's there?
Arthur.
Anna who?
A third mosquito. I'm sure you're expecting me to
What do
say
you call
Alpha,
the
but that's
footballer
weird.
who lost his car?
I was going to expect the fourth one, but that's funny.
What do you call the footballer who lost his car? Roberto Carlos.
Tudum.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, drum rolls,
Boys and girls
please.
and all the teenagers in between.
Yes, and cats and dogs like Philip for watching. For the most important question of the podcast, what advice would you give to younger people or older people or those people in between, like Akina Mupinda, who aspire to be like you?
I'd say your voice is your power, is very powerful. You know, tell your stories. The world wants to hear your stories. The world wants to hear what your ideas are, your perspectives of what it is that you're thinking. So do not be scared. Do not be afraid, because sometimes, most of the times, what stops people is fear. You know, you're overthinking and you're thinking, where do I start? What do I start with? So start with what you have. Start with where you are. Do not be afraid. Use your power. Use your voice to be as a powerful tool to be able to. But the challenge is here to be able to use it for good. You know, use it to be able to empower, inspire, to be able to educate. Use it for good. And I'd say it's not those that shout the loudest that are seen or heard. It's your authenticity that will speak for itself. It's staying true to who you are and to your culture and to your heritage. That is our superpower as Africans.
Anyways, guys, we've come to the end of the podcast. I hope you've enjoyed our jokes.
And where can we find you?
So thank you so much for having me, number one, before we finish. I don't want to forget that. But we are across all our social media platforms as NAICCON. That's NAICCON. NAICCON. So that's on Facebook, Instagram, X, where else? TikTok, LinkedIn. That's where you can find us. And I think my party shots would be keep creating, keep innovating, keep building without fear, and lead with purpose.
And thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
We are Mtoto News, a digital platform that empowers children. We curate and create engaging content about and by children. Through audio, video, writing, and infographics, we believe children should be players, not spectators. Through child-led research, we amplify young voices, shaping policies and programs. To partner or donate, send an email to info@mtotonews.com or call 0705 855258. Mtoto News, making children visible.